Yeah, it's very unique, and just our road schedule is unbelievable. But I'm so used to it. It's all I know. I like the grind. I like the hustle. When I have a couple days off, I don't know what to do with myself. I get bored. So I actually really like hitting the road. And I've been very fortunate. As long as I've been in WWE, I've never had a major injury to where I've had to have a surgery or missed time. So I've never even had a week off as long as I've been in WWE. Not 1 week off.
Okay, so I have to get into that.
Yeah.
Because you guys, you just heard him say basically super confidently that, he's never had an injury that required surgery or time off. I've known him for about 5 years. And over the last few years, I do know that he has had injuries. The difference is the fact he pushed through. He took no time off. Not only did he show up to work injured, he was wrestling injured, doing the normal things that he normally does and just basically, stepping up and I would make the argument, not to, single anyone out or point anyone out. There's a lot of people in that company, past and present, that with the same similar circumstances would have taken time off, would have possibly looked into getting surgery. That one injury that you had last year, that was insane. Talk a little bit about that. The way you were feeling. So when we were in the gym together, he was literally lifting like 10 pounds, 15 pounds because he wanted to keep himself going. But due to whatever was wrong with him, he physically...
I tore my labrum. Actually, I was WWE champion at the time, and I didn't want to relinquish the title or drop the title. I was in a good spot. I was finally at the position where I've worked my entire life, basically, or dreamt of to get to. And it was going to take a lot more than just a torn labrum to, take the title away from me. So it happened in Hawaii, in Honolulu, in a match against Shinsuke Nakamura. It was a world title match. Then the very next day I was wrestling Nakamura, who's from Japan, in Osaka. So the day it happened, the very next day I caught a morning flight and I had full tilt match, world championship match against Japanese superstar in Japan with a torn labrum.
Which means you had to get after
it. Yeah, I couldn't even move my arm. Luckily, when I'm out there, I'm bulletproof. For some reason, adrenaline hits and I can't feel anything. Just the crowd and the atmosphere and everything, just adrenaline, it will get you through anything. But yeah, I couldn't train I still did train. I couldn't train.
How would you feel after a match at that time?
Oh, very rough. Yeah, instant ice. Yeah, it was rough. Obviously, yeah. The worst time is when I wake up in the morning. Mm-hmm. That's when it's the most sore. So actually, right after a match, you don't really feel nothing. But as the adrenaline wears off, an hour after, yeah, it's very painful. But again, at that time, it was. I just have that mentality till the wheels fall off. Just keep going. Yeah, I've had many injuries before, but none that have required surgery. All of us.
Arguably, that one could have.
That one, yeah, no, that one I needed, but luckily I got by with rehab. Did my rehab, and now it's back to 100%. I'm lifting within 2-3 months. I was back to 100%. But basically, I didn't take any time off, even from the gym. I still went. It was 10-pound dumbbells, but I still got it done. And that's the most important thing. I couldn't just not do anything.
So guys, I think the takeaway with that is pretty clear. There's a lot of you out there and just people in general, probably not so much the people that listen to this podcast, but you guys get a slight tickle in your throat and you're calling in sick to work. I don't know, maybe your calf is on a 1 to 10 level, is at a pain threshold of 3. And you decide to take 3 months off from the gym. Obviously, I'm being a little extreme with that example, but the fact is that is a real problem. People need to understand that the responsibilities of your life are things that you're required to do 365 days a year, no matter what. Now, of course, there are certain situations that people get super sick or physically incapable of going to the gym due to, I don't know, maybe a broken vertebrae. But beyond that, there is always something that you can do. And there's absolutely no law that says you can't train when you're sick or you can't train when, you're injured. I remember numerous times, back in the day when I used to live my life a lot differently, I'm getting a lot of street fights and I had pretty bad hands. I used to break my right hand pretty frequently, broke my left hand really bad one time. I never went to the hospital. I'd go to a urgent care place just to get it taped up. And then I would legitimately the next day I would be in the gym. I would take the thing off and I would, if I could wrap 2 fingers around like maybe like a rowing machine bar with lightweight and just do like, I would always do something because it was that important to me. And listen, guys, like that is the mindset and the mentality that you need to win in life. I mean, you heard it. I mean, this guy was traveling the world, performing at the most elite level in the main event every single night with a torn labrum. Surely you guys can suck it up on the days that, you might have the sniffles and you feel like calling it to work, and understand that that is not the mentality that you need to have to win in life. But
I think, just speaking on that, I think some people have the mentality where if they're not at like their optimal level, like they'll just phone it, like they won't even do it at all. But the thing is, you got to do as much as you can. Yeah, some nights, I'm not at 100%, but I still got to, if I have 90% in me, I got to give 90. I got to still try to give 100, but
brother, like, most nights, most days, we're not at 100%.
Yeah.
But you got to go anyway.
Yeah, you got to go anyway and do what you can do.
And
which is more than you think you can do.
Exactly.
A lot of people, they just think like, oh, I'm sick. I can't go. They make an excuse.
It's an excuse
because they don't want it bad enough.
No.
If they want it bad enough, it doesn't matter. There's no excuse that can stop it.
And then the other side of that is, on those days when you don't feel like it and you're starting negotiating in your mind to like, call in sick or skip the gym or like deviate from your diet because you're not feeling well, you want to eat something that, temporarily makes you feel comfortable. Like when you act in spite of those feelings and those voices and you go and you do the things that you're supposed to do anyway, that is a feeling that I think most people don't recognize and understand. Like, that's an amazing feeling, because not only do you go and obviously, get an awesome workout in, which essentially moves you closer to your goals, or you go into work anyway and, perform whatever and essentially move your career forward, make more money, whatever the case. You're taking advantage of a huge opportunity to basically level up your levels of discipline by doing something like when it like arguably is like the last thing that you want to do.